to the cloud. Okay, here we go. So let's call to order the regular select board meeting. Need to open up participants so I can see if somebody tries to join. Megan tries to join. Call to order the regular select board meeting for Tuesday, February 3rd, 2026. Couple minutes late here. Review the agenda. Anything anybody want to add or take away?
Nope.
We need to approve the minutes from January 2026 regular meeting. Anybody have any edits to the regular meeting minutes from January 2026?
I do not move to approve. Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I should also say Chelsea is not present tonight. And Megan has now joined us via Zoom.
She has?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Well, there we go. It had to admit her and it took a minute, but
Maybe
she's been
Megan.
admitted now.
Hi, I'm here.
Hi there.
Okay, so does anybody have any edits to the minutes from the January 2027 special select board meeting?
I do not. I must have.
Oh, so maybe Lauren doesn't get to vote.
Move
So
to
I'll,
approve. Oops,
I'll
sorry.
no, go ahead.
Move to approve.
And then I will second. So all those in favor of approving the January 2027 special select board meeting minutes?
Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
So we got 3. That's all it takes. Citizens comments. I don't think we have any. There's nobody here. Reports. Highway report. Lauren, what you got?
I had to buy another set of chains for the loader. The other set started to fall apart now, so. I'm seeing they're just over halfway through one. I think I better get them.
What's that cost roughly?
$1,700. Set.
Wow. I figured they were.
Well,
I figured I had no clue.
$400.
one of the reasons we did it one of the reasons we did it is because they popped off over there and tore up part of the loader. So we thought it was better to pay the $3,000 in maintenance
For
than
sure.
fix the problem.
Understood. Thank you.
The hydraulic hose machine over there that Jeff purchased it needs a new control and a couple of different presses. And they are $1,714.70. So we can use it again.
Is it worth using?
In the middle of the night, yeah. You need a hose.
I mean,
Make
it
it
probably
about
saves us $1,700 over the course of a year.
Hey, I don't know. Then, of course, we can buy a whole new unit for 6,200. I said, I don't know if we'll do that, but
I mean, I think if you can pay 1,700 and make the repair to the machine, then do
I
it.
think that's the way we should go. So.
Because I think, like you say, if it's 3 a.m. and you're trying to plow and something breaks.
And then we were making hoses for everybody. On the street, it's just us. You don't roll that many really.
Yeah, but it's kind of one of those,
It's
high consequence
It's
sort of
convenience.
things. Yeah.
In the middle of the night, it's save us time.
And not have a
for-
truck down. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. All right.
So that's probably where you wanna go, just order the.
Unless you think that one doesn't work well
They
enough.
will come and put the parts on the machine for us enough.
Okay. I mean, unless it's so bad that you think it needs to be replaced.
No, he said it still works fine, he just gave us options to go either way.
Yeah. No, I'd say fix it. All right.
Chris signed up for Rivers and Roads class for May 6th and 7th.
Oh yeah, part of the road scholar stuff.
Yeah, it's probably a little tower.
That's like a runoff interface sort of thing, right? Like how do we control runoff and what's going into their rivers and things like that?
And erosion, bank erosion,
Oh, okay.
that kind of stuff against the road. Then he's working on a pond for a dry hydrant. He's willing to put a pond on his property so we can have a source of water up there. Cause we have nothing up right for Brook, that Brook or just a hole.
And I mean, he's pretty close to where you talked to Dustin's and about putting it in, or Howard's rather about putting it in.
Yeah, awful close. But we talked to the guy that's in charge of all these funds today. He's listing all the stuff off we need to do. And I said, so you're telling me this $10,000 ain't even begin to make a pond and take care of designing it, you know, we gotta get a design done, you know, so it doesn't fail. Okay,
We
dude.
gotta do like engineering and stuff for
Yeah.
this thing.
So I'll look into seeing how much it costs, but
It's a pond, man.
We need to
like
do
dig
all
a
of
hole,
that.
fill it with
We need to
water.
do
What-
all of that for the grant, right?
well, that's what this grant is.
Right.
But, you know, we can get up to can get up to 20,000 if they ain't got a long list of people waiting for the federal funds. So the state funds is 10,000. The federal funds, if it meets all the criteria, we can get another 10,000 or at least 5.
So if we didn't want the grant, could we just do whatever we wanted?
Bingo. Right, if you wanted to, just dig a hole. Right.
Sticks pipe in it.
Right.
And the work that is required by the state for the state grant sounds to you like $10,000 anyway.
I don't know, depends on who you get to design the pond. It could be a lot of money. You know, we gotta dig a test hole first and see if there's any clay there. See what the soil is,
Right.
cause you gotta have
You gotta line it.
clay-like material there to hold the water, and if you dig down and you find it's all sand, it ain't gonna hold water, so.
And did you say something like it's to our advantage to get on this list for this grant ASAP because they got a bunch of people lining up? Is that right?
No, they got a lot of,
Okay.
but, you know, every year somebody, I'm sure other towns do it too.
We've talked about it for
Yeah.
several years. We just never could find
Just
that.
never found a place to put it. Yeah, now we found some place to put it in, if we're looking into it more, it could be fairly costly.
Is it worth calling like Du Bois and King or
Well, that's.
somebody and saying,
I'm gonna talk to somebody I know. He might do it for us.
okay. Who's the other one there?
Mark Bannon?
Is it Deloitte? Is that the people up in Barry?
You don't wanna talk to Hoyland-Tanner, cause that would cost you that much money.
There's another firm up in Barry that I used once for something at my house that I could get a number for too. So see what this guy says, and if it
Yeah.
seems astronomical, I think it's Deloitte, but I don't know for sure.
Of
I'll have to look through my emails.
course, this guy that's in charge of these grants, he lives in Maine.
In Maine, and he's doing Vermont grants.
Yep.
See the dry hydrant guy?
Yeah, he used to live here and he can do most all of it over
Yeah, remotely.
remotely, and if when he has to visit the site, he just comes out and visits the site and stays with a friend down here. Yeah,
Okay,
and of course, we have to get a wetland, make sure it's not wetland, and if it is wetland, we gotta get a wetland permit to do it.
there's no wetland. Well, I don't know. It's
That's
pretty.
where it's wet, I mean, it's wet.
Yeah, across the
So-
road has got like beaver dams and wetlands.
No, it's where in his driveway on the right hand side, as you're going to his
Yeah,
driveway.
yeah, but I'm saying further up on the opposite side of the road.
Yeah, but that's nothing to do with the pond, it's where we're gonna put the pond.
I know. It just makes me nervous that it's in the region of.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we can't do anything until May, right? We can.
Well, we can start getting
If-
prices. I guess
Just trying to get some pricing
Yeah.
and stuff, you know, it's
I guess
nothing to do with the highway, but it's, you know,
no, but you guys will be doing the work.
if we have time.
Either way we go,
Yeah,
right? It'll be you guys, whether we do it with the grant or without. Okay. Great. Okay. Nothing's easy.
no, no, so I was just thinking, dig a freaking hole.
Yeah, I mean, we
Make
put
sure
this
there's
one in.
clay there, and if there is,
We put this one in down at Mike's. We didn't go through all this, right? The one down at
no,
Mike.
weren't nothing to us anyway. It was Kenny. Kenny paid for it.
That's
put
right.
it in. He didn't get a grant. He had to do it in order to,
Yeah, yeah, for the
Develop the
subdivision. Yeah. Okay.
so he didn't get a grant and go through all this.
Okay.
He just dug a pond,
Which we haven't checked on. Do we know if it's full?
which needs probably cleaning it.
Yeah, that was my next question. When's the last time anybody looked at that?
Which we can, get one of these grants to do that.
Yeah, but then make us redesign it. Okay. What else you got?
Will you stop? Nothing.
Oh,
I did put a list, I just reminded her about Farnsworth Brook Road, but.
Yeah. I emailed the last person I talked to at Green Mountain Power about poles and easements and pole movement for the town. And I haven't heard back. So if I don't hear back by probably tomorrow at lunch, I'll call Green Mountain Power and see if I can speak to someone about it. And then you gave me the name of somebody else, so I'll make it's like Vermont Public Works or something like that. I don't know. So I'll give them a chance by phone tomorrow before I move on to the next person that might be able to help us remove the poles. I was pretty blunt in my email about what we were after and why, so we'll see what happens. And again, the last time I spoke to this guy was 23, so it might be he's not even there. But I'll give him a day and then I'll make a phone call. Because I don't know what else.
Public Service Board.
Yeah. So that's my second option if Green Mountain Power fails on me. The other thing we had was the extended warranty for Western Star. Was there something we were gonna get more info on that or no?
I think we got it all, didn't we?
I don't know.
We got time.
Yeah. Let's just table that one for a minute and I'll add it back, Paul, when I have more info. We just take it off for now.
Add it back at a future.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It's not worth putting on the next one because it's gonna take us a minute. And we just ordered the truck and it's 18 months out, so we're not in a rush. Not in a rush. Unless it locks in a better price now, which I'll talk to the guy about. Grant report.
Okay, Megan is already aware of this, but I submitted a performance report for the MERP facilities grant, which was due by the end of January, and so that's completed. And I got word from Rita, and you may know this, but she submitted the small scale highway safety improvement grant application, so that's in the works.
Yeah, Chris, I think Chris finished that last week.
Yeah.
And sent it off to Rita, so it's good to know that she got that in.
Yep.
The only problem with that grant is it must be done within the same fiscal year, or same calendar year.
So if we get it now, we've got to do it this summer.
Correct.
The band rail will be like Lafayette or somebody, so
Mhm.
that won't be on you. It'll be the other little bitty things.
And so it's on. Hauling material away.
We don't have much to
Cut
do this
period.
summer, do we?
No.
Okay, sorry.
No,
You
that's
guys sent some transportation grant related materials today, I think.
Yes, that's not due till April, but
Okay.
let me find the email. The one thing on there that we do have to deal with, Jesse, that I don't know if this is on your calendar or if it's on anybody's calendar, but I know we have to do it every year, is the road and bridge standards.
Not mine.
Okay, so maybe that's for me and you.
But it used to go through GNS and
Okay,
end up. I think,
All right.
unless they reached out to.
The
both
email didn't go to
facilities.
Janice.
Okay.
It went to the highway foreman. So
Okay.
it's coming to me and Lauren now. So I got to figure out what we got to do about that. But that's on that email, but we have to do that in order to be able to apply for all these grants.
And Daniel, this is not grant related, but just so you're aware, I'm working with Lauren on updating our what's called the T2S hazmat reporting, which is done annually. And I'm just updating last year's report with the new contact information. And I'll review it with Lauren
Okay.
before the next meeting. And we'll get that submitted before the end of the month.
Okay. Perfect. This thing it's a couple of things. It's the town highway grant program, which is the class 2 structure and class 2 surface grants. And they're due by April 15th. So if we're going to do one of those for fiscal year 27, next summer, we need to know by April 15th what we're going to do and apply.
With a what grant? Grants and aid?
No, the class 2 structures and class
Oh,
2 surface. There's only so many of those. Or not even a class 2 structures, but a structures grant and a class 2 surface. Any structure big enough.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Paul, but while I've got this open, I'm going to sort of step
Okay.
back and then we'll come back to you. Oh, okay. There's also bridge inspections, which I guess they want us to update our bridge inspections like we did the culvert inspections. And I'll get with you on that. The TA60, that's what you were just talking about? No.
It's the EPCRA T2S
No, that's the same one.
hazmat.
I have to read this well. I didn't get a chance to read it well. And then the road and bridge standards is an annual requirement. I'll figure out what we have to do for that, but I think it's just signing we will adhere to the road standards. And then they sent us a new application system for the class 2 grants, which I will, figure out how to deal with that.
I'll review those documents in greater detail tomorrow, and if you want to throw anything my way, let me know.
I think I forwarded you the first email of these two. I'm going to forward you the second one too, so you have
Okay.
it, so you can help me pick through it, because having another set of eyes on it when I'm struggling will help me.
Sure.
Okay. That was me backing up a little bit. Okay. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you.
Old business. MERP improvement updates. Megan, are you in a position to talk about that one?
Yeah, I'm sorry if there's background noise. I'm literally in the middle of a hockey rink, so it's a really great place to be participating in a meeting.
That's okay.
So we have a couple of things up in the air related to MERP. As folks saw, and we talked about it at the last meeting, we did get the quote from Lime Green Heat, so that is still kind of out there. Lauren and I are working on getting a few different quotes related to, well, Lauren did get an estimate for the new concrete floor from the contractor that he's been talking to. So we do have that. I believe that was around 35,000, correct, Lauren?
Just under.
I think the old number Jeff had was roughly that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's that, and then, so that doesn't include the components that would be required to lay the radiant heating kind of infrastructure in the floor, which would be the plumbing required to facilitate that.
But that doesn't come from him, right? That comes from, excuse me, sorry. That wouldn't come from him. That would come from somebody else, and then he's
right.
up of it, yeah.
Yeah, so Lauren and I are working on getting a separate estimate for that. And I'm speaking with the pellet boiler contractor about an estimate related to that, and I'm waiting to hear back from him. I also followed up with the state to start figuring out whether or not it would be possible to include in our reimbursement request for the project the cost of the floor itself. And they indicated that that would be allowed to be reimbursed under the MERP grant because it is kind of a but-for situation. Like we wouldn't be able to install the radiant heat without removing the floor and replacing it. And as long as the engineer recommends that, which he would have to if we were installing radiant flooring, and then we could include it in our reimbursement. And I clarified that by engineer, they mean the pellet boiler installer, which is Lime Green Heat. But we only have $137,000 under MERP, so it really depends on how everything kind of adds up. I think we'll have to make some choices once we have all the numbers in front of us. So that's the kind of heating side of things and the floor side of things. Prior to our next meeting in February, I'm expecting to have at least one estimate from a weatherization contractor that Lauren and Daniel and I met with last week. They did a site visit at the town office and town garage and looked at the recommendations for building envelope improvements that were included in both of the energy audits, but then they also are going to give us an estimate on what it would cost to fully insulate the unheated portion of the garage, which was not recommended in the audit, but is something that we would like to do. And so we just want to have an understanding of what that would cost. Because the garage and the office are on two separate electricity meters, they each individually qualify for a weatherization grant through Efficiency Vermont of up to $10,000 for each building. So we could apply for and likely receive $10,000 towards the weatherization work that would be done. The same contractor is also going to include in their estimate what it would cost to replace the majority of the windows in the town office. It's my understanding from Jesse that there's one window that doesn't need to be replaced, and then one window that we might want to change the size of a little bit. So I've relayed that to the contractor, and they're going to provide us with an estimate along those lines. There is currently no funding available for window replacements if we can't squeeze that into our MERP allocation. So that would be likely covered from the town campus fund or another source of funds, but there's no kind of free money associated with that.
So I came in late to the thing. I think they were already sort of in process when I got here. Besides the windows and insulation in the attic, what were they looking at for weatherization in the town office portion?
I think you probably caught most of the conversation, Dan.
Okay.
I think they're they're looking at what was recommended in the audit, which is the ceiling and like air sealing around the doors and windows, which if they replace the windows would obviously be part of that.
And
So
they limited it to those things because the grant has to be based on the audit recommendations.
no, not necessarily. We can change the scope of the grant. But I think, like I did ask them if they agreed with what the auditors recommended. They did note that the company that was hired by the state or contracted by the state to conduct the audits was likely a company that was not entirely familiar with the New England climate and the ways that buildings need to be constructed to be comfortable in a New England climate, and efficient in that way. So I did say, if there's anything else that you see that make sense to include, just note that in the estimate, and we'll just have to amend the scope of work with the state, but it's my understanding from Efficiency Vermont that that's not hard to do.
Okay, Jesse has a question, I think.
Yeah.
So there's another person that you reached out to that stopped in yesterday.
Oh, okay.
He, it was tough to know what to think of him. I don't even know his name or what company he was from, but I liked what he had to say for the most part. I have printouts of both of the energy audits, and he looked through them and, felt that it basically just comes down to common sense and not necessarily to rely on those because they're kind of full of a bunch of jargon and kind of cookie cutter type things. He's not one to replace windows, but like as I sit here, the window behind Lauren, part of it is down. It's locked, I'm pretty sure, but part of it is up. You can see right through it. So how they can say that windows don't need replacing, I don't know. And what I'm trying to get at is I'm open to sealing the windows or whatever, however it needs, if it can be done, but because that's what everybody keeps saying is that it doesn't make sense to replace the windows. So, I don't want to be one to push to cost whatever it's going to cost if there is a way around it, but it seems silly not to.
Well, it was recommended in the audit. They did recommend it. So I think we should see, what the cost would be and, keep talking from there. I'm certainly not opposed to it. I think that having functional windows, and I mean, Jesse, just the comments you had made last week about how much of an improvement you noticed just with the one window that was more recently replaced. I think that is meaningful. And so I think we should just wait to see what the cost is going to be and decide if it's something we want to move forward with. So, I mean, we do have additional funds in the town campus fund carried over from the ARPA money. So,
And $10,000 is more than enough to do blown in the top, right? So there'll be some fraction of that left.
I hope so. I hope that that'll go farther. Yeah. So anyways, Jesse, I don't know if the gentleman who stopped in was one of the ones that I emailed, because I did email two additional folks with copies of the energy audit and a pretty detailed scope of what we were looking for. So hopefully he had that.
He was one of them, but he was trying to look at everything on his phone. So.
Oh, okay. Okay. Do you recall if his name was Alex or Elliot?
No, but does one of them is the name of the company 3 words and starts with efficiency?
Maybe. Was he from Bethel?
Maybe.
Okay. Because there was one gentleman from Montpelier and one from Bethel that I had sent
I think
more.
it's Bethel. We'll go
Okay.
with.
Okay. Then it was, that was the most local contractor. So yeah, that's great that he stopped in. And if he's able to submit an estimate by the deadline that I put in my email, then I think that's great. And we'll have a couple to look at, which is always helpful. So.
What do you think his name is, Megan?
Oh, I think his name is Alex Reister.
Cool.
And actually, I think his son went to preschool with Bruce at School Street. So pretty sure that's who it is.
Cool.
I love it.
He checks out.
Checks out. Paul says he checks out.
Okay, excellent.
All right. Anything else on the MERP stuff?
I don't think so, unless anyone has any questions. We're still kind of gathering information. I think what my goal is for the next meeting is to have all the things that we want to do attached to price tags so that we can have a discussion about what is going to move forward and what's going to fall off the table. Because if we do want to move forward with like the heating system, for example, we need to move on that and schedule it.
It
Because
has
we
to be
need to
done by
have,
the end of this calendar year, right?
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would like to get us on their schedule for the summer to install it before the next heating season, which I think makes sense. And there's a lot of options, you know, in terms of how we set that up. It doesn't have to be a radiant floor, but I think that's like our, you know, best case scenario. So
The Cadillac
Um,
option.
yes, exactly. So I think that's all I have on that, unless anybody has any questions.
Mhm. I'm good. Anybody else?
All set, thank you.
Thank you, Megan. Key voice communications. Is that you?
That's right there. No, keep coming, keep coming. Right there.
Oh yeah, I saw it in the packet.
That's the latest one. I don't think was in the packet that has all the corrections on it and everything else. And that's just the contract that keeps it at the current rate for the next 3 years or whatever. So the only thing that I did think of today, just because I got a pop-up reminder in a calendar or something that says I have a meeting with that Spectrum guy that I talked to a long time ago. I'm supposed to talk to him again on Thursday, and I don't. He was replacing the. He wanted to replace the consolidated part of our phone system and didn't really touch
Yeah.
on the key.
I think he's a service provider, not a phone provider. Like these guys are the phone infrastructure, right?
Right, but the thing that he showed me did a lot of the stuff that Key's stuff does, but because we just seem to continually get burned just to get a better price for something, I'm not sure that I'm necessarily looking. I mean, the guy's been very nice and so on and everything else, but
I mean, I don't think we've had problems with Key necessarily, right?
no,
The
this
crazy
is-
charges come from Consolidated.
right. But, basically, I think we should just still go ahead and sign with Key and I'll talk to him again on Thursday to see, but I think we were supposed to sign by February 1st or January 31st or something like that, and they told me it was fine since they.
About 123.
Yeah, they didn't get me the right contract.
Okay.
So they said it was fine, to sign it, I don't know. I'm basically what I'm coming down to is I'm just not interested in just switching phone companies for the sake of saving money, because we just continually get burned when we keep doing that. I mean, we did it with the dumpsters, we are doing it with the uniforms, we've done it with
What
fuel
happened with that?
companies
And Spectrum is out of state, right?
They're coming in from it. They're sort of a regional,
Moving.
national, and they're trying to move in everywhere. They're doing this with a lot of people. The whole "we want to take over" sort of thing. I know a few people that have been approached.
You know,
It's Blue Mirror.
Well-
Like, let's let them move in first and then we'll sign up with them later.
I don't have a problem continuing with Key, and my guess is if there's overlap in services, if we've got it from Key, we say, okay, we like your phone prices. Can you take out these services, and does that change? You know what I mean? They don't have to give us those services if we're already covered somewhere else. And maybe it reduces the price. I don't know.
so I'll ask all those questions, but I think that we go forward with Key and sign it and be done with that.
It feels to me Consolidated is the person we really need to. Okay, so I'll make a motion that we accept the service activation form and update from Key.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Do I need to sign this or somebody else?
Aye.
Or do you? Okay. Oh, I gotta write. My writing's terrible. There you go. Moving on. New business. Covered storage for town equipment. That's on you. Hey, wait.
You're jumped.
No, I didn't.
Okay, then consider planning commission candidates and appointments.
That's an early copy of the agenda.
Oh.
Sorry.
You knew, okay.
There's a more recent one right up.
I didn't. That got taken off, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at the next meeting, and I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna have to run in about 8 minutes. So I was wondering, because Lauren is more than capable of covering the covered storage item.
Yeah, let's
And
go
I
to the
don't
other
need to be here for that. So town report delivery planning, I don't know, Jesse, do you know when we're expecting to have the reports back? Do you have any idea?
I think it's next Monday.
Okay, great.
and I talked, or I emailed Grace to see if, since we're picking them up on Monday, might we be able to pick them up on Friday instead? Because I'm only available Friday or Saturday, and then I'm leaving the state on Sunday. So I've asked Grace if she can call them to see if we can get them a little earlier.
And
Okay.
if that's the case, I'll be in Hanover Friday, so I can grab them.
Oh, great.
Okay.
If they're ready, but.
Yeah.
She didn't think that could happen, but we're trying.
Okay. So I'll send out an email to pretty much our full list of town officers to try to solicit additional volunteers to deliver. And then once we have a list of everybody who's willing, I can, or I don't know if folks want to volunteer for particular routes right now, but we could assign them kind of over email after we know who's willing to help, if that makes sense.
Well, my kids are excited about doing my normal 12A
Okay.
thresher route. So
Okay, so Daniel's gonna do that. Lou, which one do you usually
I think
do?
I'm my number 7 is it?
Well, I'm only gonna be able to do anything if it
Okay.
is Friday or Saturday, which doesn't sound likely, unfortunately. I've
Okay.
done Mobile Acres, I've done Ryford Brook, and I did the Thresher thing last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other half 12A or something. Yeah.
Okay, so we'll work that out then, Lou, once we know what the timing is. That's fine.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, so I can coordinate that over email once we kind of know what's what and who's who. For the pre-town meeting information session, so we are planning to do that on the evening of the 24th, which is that Tuesday. I will actually be in town. My hearing in California got rescheduled for June, so I'll be around that week and I can help to do setup. I'll also plan to order and pick up the pizza and cookies and cider.
Is that
We're
here? Are we doing that here or do we do that at the town hall?
gonna do it at the town hall.
Okay.
So I'll probably be there around like 5:30 to set up and make sure the pizzas are hot and things like that. So folks can show up around that time or shortly thereafter. That would be helpful, and we'll get started right at 6 o'clock, and we'll keep it pretty informal. Because it is meant to be more informal, but just a heads up for Paul, we will need to warn it because I'm expecting we'll have more than 3 select board members there. So Paul, if you could just warn it as a special select board meeting, that would be helpful.
And the date it's next Tuesday?
February 24th.
February 24th at 6 p.m. at the town hall. We will not have a Zoom option. will be in person.
Yeah,
Got it.
the agenda's
There's no-
pretty open. The agenda is basically a discussion of the town report. Things like that.
Yeah. So I think that's all I had to say about that. Anything else for town meeting logistics or planning?
Paul's got something.
Okay.
This doesn't help for this year, but for consideration or just to kind of have it in your head to think about. To save money on printing, another town that I work with instead delivers a notice of availability. And if a citizen wants the report, then they somehow either submit it or bring it to the town office and pick up their report. And that way you're not printing 1,000 or whatever the number is, your whatever. Eventually they save money on printing that way. I just want to throw that out there.
Thank you.
Okay.
We've talked about sort of changing our strategy a few times. Might be worth revisiting.
Yeah.
Sort of gone round and round, and yeah. Anyway,
I'll talk with them and see how much it works. And if anybody has questions, you can ask me.
perfect. That sounds good.
I'd be curious how many people pick them up. What percentage of their voters pick them up?
Yeah.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody got anything else for Megan before she skedaddles?
Have a good night, Megan.
Thanks. I'll hang on as long as I can.
Don't
It
worry.
usually takes Bruce at least 10 minutes to get out of his hockey gear, so.
Yeah, I understand that from how long it takes people to decamp from swim.
But
Um,
if I disappear quickly, I hope everyone has a great evening, and I'm sorry again for the remote participation last minute.
That's all right. I appreciate you coming to help our quorum. Lauren, coverage storage for town equipment.
Yeah, I'll have to come up with a size.
Well, you got to explain what you're after. Nobody knows what's going on.
Yeah, I'm looking for a pole shed to put stuff on the cover that's out in the
That's
weather.
what I guessed.
On our property. On the town's property.
Basically, yeah.
Chipper up there in the weather, there's a tractor out there in the weather. There's some other implements that are out in the weather.
And there's stuff
There's
back
a
here.
Trailer that we haul the excavator around and, that's wooden
Yep.
leather.
Shovel it out when you need it.
Well, that part don't bother me,
I'm just
what
saying.
bothers me, the snow sitting on it, it melts a little, it gets wet. So it gets into cracks and stuff, starts rusting and then it freezes and then warms up again and,
Yeah, good suggestion.
just, I don't know, 27 years of it in Roxbury. And I see a lot of stuff that just sit there and rust. It wasn't covered up.
And we have the space in
Yeah.
the pit down there to do
Yeah.
something.
Great.
I think it also, as we talked about it, as Lauren and I talked about it a little bit, and as we go forward with it, if we do, it will also allow us to sort of hone the equipment we have and we want and need. Because I think there are certain things that we have that we don't need.
Mhm.
So if this is an excuse to sell them or get rid of them and trim down, it's
Great.
a good reason to do that.
Yeah, there's some things that we'll never use, it's taking up space and there's a leaf sucker over in the salt shed that's taking up space. Not real big, but I bet it takes up space at this table.
Is that something that you think you would build, that the guys would build, or we contract out?
I think I can get a price on it first and see what kind of.
I don't know if they have time this year. We have
No,
I'm not.
Overloaded
have to
with
do it this year either. I'm just
yeah,
putting it out there, so, and we didn't budget for it. So we'd have to look at Jesse and say, we got money to do that?
when would we have money?
You know,
yeah, and how much is it? Can't be that.
it's just gonna be, cold
I
storage.
love the wishful
And,
thinking or the positive thinking there.
I mean, it's huge, but.
Maybe you can find something that's got some old tin, that's all you need, just some old tin around the outside of it, just to keep stuff from blowing. Old snow.
I have got old tin. I've got a stack in my barn this high of 10 sheets.
I thought you tore that barn down.
I've got some.
I did. I moved it across the road. Rebuilt it on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, if we can find out, if we can find telephone poles to do it, that'd be great. I'm just putting it out there so everybody can start
Yeah,
looking
right.
and.
I think it's a great idea.
I've always wondered about the things where they went in this winter and what happened to them.
Well, that's where they are.
Out in the
Freezing,
winter.
freezing in the ice.
Yeah. Freaking snow up there.
Hey, so can I go back a little bit? What happened with the uniform guy? He said he was coming to talk to you. Oh, you're in the middle of something.
No, heavy steaks over here, feeding the dogs, so, so,
Because when I
I
emailed the
said-
service manager, he said the GM's going to talk to Jesse because apparently everything's flubbed
so
up.
I sent another message. So whatever we got still isn't what was on special
Right.
order. So those were supposed to be in either the end of last week or beginning of this week. And then he's like, so what day do you want to meet? I said, well, how about if you get in these mysterious shirts that we haven't seen for 6 months and you tell me when they're in and we'll pick a date.
Yeah,
So
'cause-
I'm waiting to hear from him when those shirts are in.
I looked back through my emails and he sent a bunch of options. He sent options for long sleeve shirts, right? Which I think is what's over there. And I said, I appreciate the long sleeves, but they want short sleeve. I said, do you have short sleeve in this same style? And he said, yes, just pick which one. And I said, well, we want this one. And instead he sent us the long sleeves. When
Yeah.
the email clearly states they want short sleeve shirts in all seasons.
Careful with
They
your
don't want.
wording. It's
Let's
understandable.
have access to all these emails and everything, and everybody needs to sit down together the day he comes, because I am not taking no for an answer as far as the credit we're due for all the stuff that we don't have and never have had.
Right.
You know, I won't make a huge stink over the stuff that was never used.
Right.
That was in our possession. But the stuff that was never in our possession that they're charging us for is bull. And they're still charging us for it. So we've stopped sending them checks. We did not send them a check last time and we will not send them one this time.
And they're aware of that.
I don't know.
They're
Yeah.
not
I
getting
didn't
it.
tell them, but they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll,
Respond.
I still think
Right.
my idea is the best idea. Invite them, all three companies, and say, this is what we want. Whoever can show up with it first, will sign the 5-year contract on. But
Well,
you gotta
I mean-
show up with them and they gotta fit.
We're how many months? We're a quarter into this, or 3 or 4 months into this ordeal now. Like, I mean, in 6 months, if it's not fixed, then let's call Foley. They're the last option, and
Yeah.
move on.
yes, because from our, my own personal experience with Universe, there's zero chance of ever going back to them.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
Absolutely not, never. I don't care
Well,
what ideas.
I think we burned that bridge anyway. So,
Probably.
yeah. Okay, so that's still in limbo while we wait.
Yeah.
Good enough. That was on my mind, and I remembered the email, and it came back. Okay. Payment orders.
Make a motion, we approve them.
Now, do we have to make a separate motion, I believe? to-
Yeah, you got 2 of them here.
Yeah,
Make 2 motions, so motion on the stack over here then.
Well, what's the difference?
Regular ones.
It's the
Oh,
GM EDC.
so Lauren has moved for us to approve the regular payment orders for the period,
Right.
and I'll second that. All those in favor?
All right,
It gets eyes all around. And then I'll make a motion to approve the payment order related to the GM EDC invoices.
Second.
All those in favor? Payroll.
move to approve the warrant dated January 29, 2026 for the period January 11, 26 through January 24, 2026.
I'll second. All those in favor?
All right,
Has anybody got anything else, or are we adjourning?
Make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that. All those in favor? Eyes all around. Thank you all for the
Thank you.
lovely meeting.
Times 6:52.